doesn't know, I am Akasha Divine, and I am here to basically finish off a series that I began on YouTube. Okay, so on YouTube, if you guys saw if you saw my YouTube video where I basically explained that the Black woman is God philosophy, for some reason, it's not legitimized. You understand what I'm trying to say? So, whereas every other particular religion or belief or faith has something that goes with it. It basically has symbolism. It has a particular deity. You know what it looks like. You can identify the people walking down the street by how they dress, how they act, what they do. Okay? But when it comes to anyone who worships the Black woman, it's kind of like, how do we look? Can you identify that? You understand what I'm trying to say? So this series is just called The Image and Implementation of the Black Woman is God Philosophy. And this is part 2. And this is the symbolism of the goddess. Okay. So I'm just going to go over really quickly the importance of symbolism. Hi, Anthony. How are you? Okay, so the importance of symbolism. Symbols provide a collective understanding for our culture, both on the conscious and subconscious levels. It's our primal language. So before we were speaking English, before we were speaking anything, we learned everything through symbols. Okay? Please don't mind the notifications at the top of the screen, okay? So we learned everything through symbolism, and that's apparent when we look at the hieroglyphs in Egypt, okay? So we did everything through symbolism. We found our knowledge through nature, all of that stuff, okay? So symbols evoke an emotional response as well as provide the blueprint of our social environment, okay? Reminding us of our morals and values, okay? And I'm about to show you some examples as I move along. So what's the first thing that comes to mind when you see this symbol? So I want you guys, I'm just letting y'all know, I said in the description that this was going to be an interactive class, so be ready in the comments to just tell me what you think, because this entire presentation is questions. I want to know what comes to your mind. The first thing, I don't want you to think about the right answer. I want you to just say the first thing that comes to your mind when you see these symbols, okay? So type in the chat, you know, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you see this particular symbol? Okay, Kenny said, woman, Black woman. Okay. So do you know what this symbol is? This symbol is the Ankh. If you aren't familiar with it already, this is the Ankh, okay? And so basically what this is the symbol of eternal life, okay? The Ankh is an ancient Egyptian symbol of life and is also considered to have meaning in ritual magic. It is also a symbol of immortality and completion, okay? So that's basically what it means whenever you see anyone wearing it. If you see people who, you know, Egyptologists or, you know, anyone who subscribes to, you know, Egyptian or Kemet or anything of that nature, or anyone who's just about Black power in general and, you know, recovering their culture, they go straight to Africa, and in Africa they go straight to Egypt. Go straight to Egypt, not even any other particular country, just straight to Egypt. Okay, and then everyone puts this on in replace of the Christian cross. Okay, so this is the womb of mankind and eternal life. Okay, so if you notice the similarities, it's shaped just like the uterus. Okay, you have the womb right here. These are the fallopian tubes. Okay, and this is the vaginal canal. Okay, that's basically what this is over here. Okay, so what's the first thing that comes to mind when you see this particular shape or symbol? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you see a circle? Because that's exactly what this is. It's a circle. So what's the first thing that comes to mind? You might as well just write it in the comments. Ashe, Ashe. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you very much. So, guys, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you see a circle? Okay. You said completion, eternity. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay. So, the circle, it's all over nature, right? We see it in the moon. You think of the roundness of a pregnant woman's belly. Okay, we gotta remember this. Okay, and here we have the egg. Okay, during conception. Okay, then we have the earth, of course. And just another thing I want to specify, this is what happens when you drop anything inside of a body of water, okay? The ripples will be circular, okay? Just to show you how the universe works, okay? The universe is cyclical and everything works in circular motion. So what's happening with the water is, the reason why the waves move that way is because that is exactly how sound waves move. If you ever notice sound waves, it's like waves like this. But at the end of the day, we're only looking at it in a two-dimensional pictorial, okay? But if you were to make that image 3D, you would see that instead of up and down, it's not going straight up and down. It's actually twisting and turning in a cycle motion. But the graph itself is only recording the height and the lows of that particular cycle. So it looks to us like it's just a wave, but it's not really a wave. It's a cycle. It's a spiral. Basically, that's what's happening. Okay. And that's how sound moves. And that's exactly how light moves as well. So I'm just showing you how the circle is a fundamental part of nature, okay? This is basically the building block of all of life. Okay, so now we're moving on to the next symbol. Okay, I know you guys may or may not be familiar with this particular symbol. So this is the triple goddess symbol. So it's also called the triple moon symbol, as you can obviously tell. So it basically correlates with the phases of the moon to the 3 phases in a woman's life, okay? Waxing, full, and waning, representing the maiden, mother, and crone. Okay, the maiden representing youth, new beginnings, and exploration. The mother, fertility, responsibility, illumination, giving, and receiving. And the crone is endings, wisdom, culmination, and acceptance of death. Okay? And this particular symbol if you look this up, this is universal for any particular goddess. Okay, so all goddesses can be associated with this particular symbol because it's about the phases of the woman in general. Okay, but is it representative of the Black woman? That's what we're here to talk about. Okay, we have to remember why we're here. So we have this symbol is representative of any particular goddess, can be represented this way. But when you see this, do you think of the Black woman? No, right? Okay, so basically, this is the picture of the triple goddess. Okay, so of course, it is not, it's not of the Black woman. Okay, this is usually is associated with Hecate, and Hecate is from the mythology. I forgot which one, either Greek or something of that nature. I can't remember, but yes, it's definitely a Caucasian deity attached to this. So whenever you are wearing this symbol, you are wearing a Wiccan symbol. Okay. So what do you think of when you see this symbol? Guys, be ready to type. Okay, be ready to type because I'm asking y'all questions. So what do you think of when you see this? Right, Greek. Yes, I was right.
My oldest brother was into high school.
That's definitely not the Black goddess, LOL. Right, absolutely, absolutely. Um, from the Wiccan culture. Right, right. That's right, Goddess Sassy. Thanks so much for coming. Um, okay. I want to make sure you guys can see. Okay, so when you see this, you see a maze. Confusion. Okay, guys, so this is basically a spiral. Okay? And this is actually in nature as well. If you pay attention, this symbol is in nature. Yeah, so when you think of tornadoes, hurricanes, galaxies, flowers, horns on animals, you ever think about the horns that goats or elephants or any particular animal, rams, any particular animal that grows horns, they grow in a circular motion. They grow in circular motion. So you have tree trunks. If you cut a tree, you will see the life of the tree by how many spiral lines that's in the trunk. So this is basically examples of the golden ratio manifested in nature, okay? And that's basically life's blueprint. Right, especially in trees. So this reflects a universal pattern of growth and evolution. So everything grows in a circular pattern. Everything grows in a circular pattern because the universe is cyclical. It is not linear in any particular way, shape, or form. Okay, so that's what I'm showing you. So the spiral is an ancient and sacred symbol that reminds us of the path to evolve in life. Okay, it helps the subconscious to accept change and remain in the current moment where creativity, balance, and freedom is most experienced. Okay, so whenever we are evolving, think about how we evolve. No one evolves like this. Okay, we all go through ups and downs. And the reason why we're going through ups and downs and we feel like, we've been at this particular space before is because we are going in cycles. And every time we make mistakes and then we rise again, we're at a higher point because we've learned something. You understand? So that's pretty much how the psyche and the subconscious works. That's how we grow. So it reminds us of the divine order of flow. So this also reminds us not to be stagnant, not to plan too much, because at the end of the day, we're going to end up learning something, making mistakes, and coming back into full circle. Okay? So this symbol is also representative of the goddess, the womb, fertility, and life force energy. Like I said, everything grows in spirals. So yes, life force energy, which is within the womb. Okay? Everything grows in a spiral motion. Okay, so what do you think of when you see this particular symbol? When you see the inverted triangle, what's the first thing that you think of? So, guys, go ahead and write it down in the comments. What do you think of when you see the inverted triangle? The uterus. Somebody in here is just smart. You can't be giving all the answers. The womb. Okay, so I see you guys are just, y'all up there. The yoni. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. The downward triangle is most commonly known as the alchemical symbol for the element water. Okay, so when you think about the elements, fire is the upright triangle, water is the inverted triangle, and then you have earth and air, which is also triangles, but they have lines going through them. Okay, and about this particular space. Okay, so this particular symbol is representative of water. Okay, and this is also half of the six-pointed star, representing the female energy as it joins with the masculine. Okay, which is in Hinduism, it represents Shakti. Okay, and that's the primordial cosmic energy responsible for creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just discussing the symbolism of the goddess, okay? So just catch up and be ready. When I ask y'all questions, be ready to type in the chat, okay? So it's also representative of the Yoni and Tantra schools, which is from Shaktiism. Yoni is the gateway to the mysteries of life or higher consciousness. So you guys, you were definitely on the money. You were right. Y'all already know. So I just accumulated some pictures so you guys can see. Hold on, let me scoot this up a little bit so you can see. Okay, so we have some ancient artifacts, statues, things of that nature that shows the reverence of the goddess in ancient times. Okay, and what you see in here, you see the triangle in everywhere. Okay, so the womb, it's in every single one of these statues. Okay, and I would have to say this one is from Mexico. Okay, this one is from the Indus Valley. This one is Pakistan, and this one is Egyptian. And they all have the yoni or the womb represented in their art. Okay. And right here, what you see is a ceremony. This is from the Indus Valley civilization. This is a ceremony where they are worshiping the Yoni, okay? So you see the triangle here? These are the people who practice Shaktiism, okay, which is another form of Hinduism. And this particular symbol right here is representative of the Yoni, okay? That's what this is right here. So I wanted to blow this up so you can see that it's not just, a woman with her Yoni here. They actually had statues and things of that nature, and they actually went and prayed and worshiped the Yoni, okay? So since we're on the Yoni, you might as well get to the next symbol for the Yoni, which is the Vesica Pisces. Okay, so this is a double pointed oval. Okay, so this is basically how you get the double pointed oval. You basically are intersecting circles, which we discussed before how integral circles are in nature. Okay, so then you see again some more artifacts worshiping the Yoni. She's basically inside the Yoni, shape. And of course, the worshiper is here to ensure that she is heightened in consciousness. Okay, so now all of these symbols can be used to represent the goddess or divine feminine principle in some sort of way, right? But which symbol represents Black goddess consciousness? This is the symbol for Black goddess consciousness. You won't find this on Google, okay? You won't find this on Google. But what you see here is you see the inverted triangle, right? You see the Vesica Pisces and you see the spiral. And of course, within the Vesica Pisces is darkness, okay? And the inverted triangle can be interpreted in different ways, okay? So it can either be what we discussed, which is the womb, or Shakti energy, right? Or it could be the Holy Trinity or any particular significance of three, right? So it could be land, sea, sky. It can be the three phases of the goddess, which is the maiden, mother, and crone. It can be anything you want it to be, right? Any Holy Trinity can fit this. Mother, father, child, right? And then it can also be interpreted as the masculine principle simply because of the straight, rigid lines. We all are familiar with the fact that the feminine is represented by curves, curvatures, or circles, right? Because of the flow, the femininity, right? Masculine is represented by linear fixtures, straight lines, and sharp edges. Okay, because it's more so about structure and discipline. Okay, so I basically created this symbol. Okay, I drew it myself. I created this symbol. I wanted to ensure that whatever symbol is representing the Black goddess consciousness, it has both elements of the feminine and the masculine together. Okay, because when you think about the divine feminine, she really is complete with both masculine and feminine. So I want to make sure that I have it together, okay? So the three lines that's encompassing the Yoni, right? That is the masculine principle that is there to serve as protection for the sacred Yoni inside, okay? So you can interpret it that way, or you can interpret these three lines as the three lingams. Now, if you go into Hinduism, the masculine counterpart for the Yoni is the phallus, of course, and they call it the lingam. So whenever you see a Yoni depicted in their art, you will always see a lingam right next to it, okay? So now you have three lingams here, symbolizing the eternal process of creation, regeneration, and the indivisibility of the two energies. So within this symbol, you have both the feminine and the masculine. Okay. And just a question, just a quick question, right? So when you see, think about the three lingams, the three phalluses and one yoni. What does that represent? I want to see what you guys say. What does that represent? Because usually whenever you see a phallus and a yoni meeting in any particular ancient art, there's always one to one. There's always one to one. So in this particular image, there's 3 to 1. There's 3 phalluses to 1 yoni. What does that indicate to you? I thought the hexagon and flower of life with a triangle and a yoni shapes all within the circle. Yes. So polyandry. Yes. Black polyandry. So not only is this symbol for Black goddess consciousness, right? With the spiral indicating your evolution and consciousness in life, and the yoni representing the path to source, right? And then you have the blackness, which is melanin or the cosmic primordial, essence. And then you have the womb or the 3 phalluses. Yes, it also represents polyandry as well. So this can be for Black goddess consciousness and for Black polyandry. Okay, so now we have a particular symbol that works for both. And within the culture of Black goddess consciousness, polyandry is definitely natural and evident. Okay, as the protection of the divine feminine is of the utmost priority. Okay, we need to make sure that's implemented within our symbolism. Because like I said, as far as the importance of symbolism is to help remind us of our morals, standards. Okay, that's what symbolism does. That's why it's here. This is a particular language. It's telling you how you're supposed to live your life. It's telling you the path to enlightenment. Okay. Amazing. Thank you. That is all, y'all. That is all. That is the symbolism that I basically came up with simply because I have ancestral memory, of course. And you all know, well, you all don't know, but now you know, I have, I'm able to tap into the Akashic records, and I just remember these things. So that's why I'm able to draw this and then be able to just put it together so that it grabs particular meaning, and it's something that we can move forward with. Okay, something that we can move forward with. So I just wanted to know who has any questions. If you have any questions, you can ask them now.
Yeah, it do be a while, but I'm also not like putting the things on my body when I can see, like, which is also not me, like having a different space. Doing forms, so like, I just look at it, and it's like.
Oh, you're gonna get a tattoo? Yes, absolutely. Get a tattoo. We should put this on our clothes, jewelry, everything, because we have to, as a people, if we're going to live this life, it has to be for real. It has to be some particular dedication, devotion. We have to be serious. Like everyone else is serious about their belief and faith, but it seems if you were to put us up against everyone else, it looks like we don't exist. or we're not serious. So we have to start implementing some for real goddess worship. Okay? So this symbol is basically to remind you the path to enlightenment is through the womb. Okay? And what better way to do that is for that womb to be protected. We can't forget about that.
So I'll do 3:30 just to be safe.
We cannot forget about that. Absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely. We cannot forget about that. It's very, very important. I want to make sure that was implemented within the symbolism. So this is just like a first draft, of course. I'll do some, revisions a little bit later, make it more, and start adjusting it to a lot of different, merchandise and materials or whatever. So this is it. And I want to thank you all so much for coming. I appreciate all of your attendance and your participation. And I can't wait to see you next time. Stay tuned for part 3, okay? Part 3 is coming up as well. And if you like for me to utilize Facebook, I will utilize Facebook again, okay?
Your time.
But thank you so much. You all have a blessed and productive day. Remember to respect your mothers, okay? Remember to respect your mothers, your wives, your daughters, okay? I will see you all next time.